So, again, I think most of us, we have a good mentor of mine, Tim Story. Mm-hmm. He often says that your now is not your tomorrow, your mm-hmm. present is not your future. Where you are now is not where you're going to be. You understand? And so we need to understand and know that we are work in progress.
Yep.
And a lot of times, like you're not going to be doing loans 10, 15, 20 years from now. Mm. That I can almost assure you.
No. It's already growing more. It's a great, I do love doing them, but also it's like,
but it's not your passion.
It's my growth. Like right. I love building the business around it. It's something, and I do love doing them. I love working with first time home buyers and I love walking them through. I love being there on their biggest purchase. But let me ask you this.
Do you see yourself doing loans 10, 20, 30 years from now? That's only loans.
That's only loans, but I feel like I'm more expanding it right now on a relationship level. So I still see myself doing them like forever, yeah.
Like
sitting in an office doing them, no, but like building exactly. I feel like what I'm building, people are going to be coming to me and referring me.
There you go.
So
like a book of business
forever. I'm gonna have a book of business forever, and I'm always gonna be
that will always
in
happen,
loans.
That happens naturally when you're good at what you do.
Yeah. So that's how I see it.
You build a book of business, it's referral, client base, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't see you.
No, like I would probably get a team. No,
cold calling.
No. I'll probably have a team at that point. But if somebody hits me up from the event that we went to last night, 10 years later, I'm like, hey, can you help me with this?
Yeah, you'll do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's more where my thought process is, even right now. Like.
Totally. And it'll happen.
It's all in real estate, because I want to do, I want to stay in long time investing. I'm still figuring out if I'm kind of learning all of them, do I want to do holds? Do I want to do passive? Like there's so many. And this gives me an opportunity too, to really get the inside scoop from all the angles. So I have enjoyed just kind of getting to know everyone and like how to, and staying with like-minded people that are growing.
Absolutely.
Because that's where I just like exited all of it out of my life. Like if you don't want to grow or that communication, then like I got to keep going. Mm-hmm. Like if you're willing to learn and grow, like we can hang out, we can do it together.
And also, watch. We know that not everyone's there forever. Like people come to our life for a season.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You understand?
Or to teach you something.
And so
I've had a lot of lessons.
And that happens also in business. In business, there might be some people you start with.
Yeah.
But you're not going to finish with them. You understand? They're just there for a season, and that doesn't make them wrong or bad people. We're all different.
Yeah.
Right now, there is some long-term relationships in business that they can start and they go freaking to the end together. That's when those people or individuals align with each other as far as goals and what they want to do. But not everyone's going to be there.
Nope.
And everyone has their own plans, their own vision, and that's okay. It's part
and then
of it.
You just have to let it go. And coming up to alignment, JJ and Bailey. Bailey is one of your students. Yep. So Bailey did do your coaching program a year ago, right? Yep. About a year. Mm-hmm. And in just 1 year, you're 22 years old. You have 7 doors now in Ohio. Mm-hmm. And
again.
Pound it. And you've raised like over $1 million in capital. So like what I want to know, because my favorite things, I love mentors and coaches and growth, and just for me, I know when something's right or a person. Like even when I picked the guy, the owner of this brokerage, I just like, that's my family. Yeah. Like that's, and a year later, and I'm so glad that I had that click, because I was definitely right. Good. This is my work family. Mm-hmm. So what was that click for both of you, or what was that moment? And then like, how has he maybe gone above and beyond, or, how did you guys know this is my person?
Yeah, well, probably about a year and a half ago
Yep.
was when I first encountered JJ at a real estate event in California.
Yep.
So I heard him speak on stage, and I didn't know him at the time, but I heard his story, right? And
Yep.
it touched me because he was actually investing where I was from, right? I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
I love that, yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this guy is living in California near me. I need to get around him. So we spoke, and I basically partnered with him a year ago, and since then, honestly, I've blown up, right? I have multiple projects in different states.
Yep.
I have over 7 doors. I've raised over $1 million to fund real estate projects. So, anyone looking to get started in real estate, you really need to find a mentor that you can align with. And I knew JJ was the guy. He was, he's a family man. He's just a really genuinely good guy. So I just knew I needed to have him,
Yep.
as a partner.
To show you.
Yep.
Same here. So, like Bailey said, we met at a real estate conference, and it was funny to me how he was in California. He was from Cleveland, Ohio, where we're investing. But some way, somehow, we connected, and days later, right? We
Literally,
connected, and we started the coaching program. We helped him with his very first property, through the coaching, and now ever since he's grown to multiple properties, which again, very very excited, very proud of him. He's now doing bigger and different things out here in California, which again, very excited. I'll tell you what, as a coach, as a mentor, people don't know, only certain people will know this, but you get like this great satisfaction when you know that someone that put their faith in you are doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that to me is like amazing. I saw what he's doing now with his family when we first started. Back in my office, I was like, brother, look, family's out there in Cleveland. You guys could do this, do that, work together. I ran into his whole family the other day at a Home Depot. And it was so nice to see his mom and dad and his brother at Home Depot working on one of their projects. As we talked about a year and a half ago when we first started the coaching. I said, listen, you guys could do this as a family and this and that. And to see that a year and a half later happen, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like, oh my God.
Like he did it. Like, and that has to be incredible just to see, especially when they take it, like what, you give them the keys, because even if you what they say, like I could take you to the water, but you can't.
Yep.
But when you give somebody, those nuggets, and then they grow, they go and plant them. They do exactly what you said. And now they're like, everything's growing. So I imagine
Plus, he's only 22 years old.
I know, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the main reason why he's doing as good as he's doing, because he's 1,000% coachable.
Yes. I've been told that I've gotten better throughout the years, but I have actually been told those words, because I used to power lift. I run marathons now, but years ago I started powerlifting, maybe like 2017. And this guy, he told me, he's like, he didn't want to coach me because I wasn't coachable. So I told him that I would be, and it worked out. Like I did change. He probably helped a lot of future people down the road. That was definitely my first step into like, okay, I don't know everything, when you get out of your head. But
well, that's the thing too. Like if something is working, like why reinvent the wheel, right? So I just took JJ's blueprint and I saw that it was working, and I'm just copying it, right? So
that's it. Yeah. And so that is what's so cool about someone that's coachable.
Yeah.
They don't try to redo everything that they learn. No, listen, it's working. I'm just gonna
go do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You understand? It just and that's where being coachable really kicks in.
Don't push back on you. Is there anything that he may have had a little pushback on? Or like, no, he just hopped in. Oh, was there one?
Management.
Management.
Property management. I remember telling him and his mom, I said, listen, you'll do how you want to because they're your properties. I'm telling you right now, do not self-manage.
Yeah.
Do not self-manage. And I don't know if you guys are doing it now, but it was against my mentorship, against my advice. Your mentor or your coach, a good coach will coach you based on their own personal experiences, okay?
Okay.
And so I will never teach someone or coach someone I have never done or gone through it or experienced myself. No. That's not the type of coach I am. I know for a fact that managing your own properties is a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a no-no.
Stressful.
It's stressful. I mean, you're going there. Now you're going there.
Yeah.
You can't scale without having a property manager.
It's more like a job.
More like a job.
It's going to be too time consuming, a lot more stress on you.
You don't want to do it. Trust me, you don't
No.
want to do it. You don't want to be taking those calls freaking from tenants
Yeah.
about this and that, about, oh my God, the neighbors are so rowdy. I'm going to move out. Like, what? I don't want to fucking hear that. Like, that's why I'm paying the manager. Call them.
Yeah.
Do you have property management now?
I do. They only charge about 10%, but it's hard to scale without having a property manager, without having a contractor, without having a realtor.
How long did you self-manage?
Not that long because it was it was stressful. It was stressful.
But see, at least but sometimes I feel like even the coachable ones, it's the point. Sometimes you just gotta see, for yourself. Like, even though it's like, look, I'm sure I'm gonna hate it. I'm sure it's gonna be uncomfortable.
You have to learn the hard way sometimes.
But you still have to get that feeling of like, okay, I hate that.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Sometimes, because even I'm sure, did you try to manage one of yours?
That's how we started.
Exactly.
That's why I tell everyone, listen, that's how we started, and man,
it was terrible.
It was just and to me it was more of a I know this because I did property management back in California years ago, and so I know how to do it. To me it was like no big deal. But I realized that although I know how to do it, I know how to manage people and everything. I just realized for me that was not what I signed up for.
Yep.
So I was not gonna go out there and become a property management company.
No.
No. Invest.
Yep.
Grow. Yep. You understand?
Yep.
And so when it clicked, I was like, what am I doing here?
A property management. Yeah.
And so that was only the only pushback that I got from him.
Yeah.
That was it.
And he never pushed back again.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I believe you. I'm not going to go through that next time. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Sometimes you just got to do it on your own.
I mean, that's
even
it.
if it's.
But and so what I want to ask you. About your why, because I asked you earlier, but I want to ask you about your why. I think we all have a why.
Yes, I do.
He's got a why.
I'm very I do the
why?
whole journal thing. I do read it every day. So I kind of have it in different parts. But ultimately, my why, I'm going to build wealth for my family, especially this struggle that's been going on. 2020 or these past few years, the middle class is leaving. It's not going to be anymore. It's disappearing. It's simply disappearing. And I kind of saw that, that's when I really started to okay, I need to buckle up here. I need to figure it out. I need to teach myself. I need to grow. I need to learn. I need to become this person that I've been telling myself that, I want to be. So ultimately, build wealth for my family. My parents, my dad just retired. And he's a little scared.
Are you from California?
I am from California. They bought a home. They bought a home 27 years ago. It's paid off. Good. It's worth a lot more. He did very well. He raised a family, did all that. And I just feel like it's my time. It's my turn to, take that stress away from them, to make sure that, they did everything amazing, and they made me and my brothers and my sister great people, and they gave us that, and it's my time to ultimately, start kind of taking over and building that wealth for our family.
Do you believe that every family needs to have the one person that breaks generational?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Financial curses?
Definitely I do. And it's always kind of been me. I've always been I am my father's daughter. So my work ethic, I do got that. I'm actually learning, my parents are still married over 40 years. So definitely very different. But what I'm realizing now that I didn't before, I've always kind of ran with my dad. Work ethic, just, kind of a little snippy, like, I'm more in control. Like, I have to be doing it. And now I'm realizing that I'm bringing in more of my mom for the service and really highlighting more of that to really get me to these next levels. So if I really utilize both of them. But ultimately, yeah, I think it just takes one. I think because if you're growing up in an area or when you're a child or, growing up for the meantime, for those years, you only have what's being given to you, so I didn't really have that crash course in high school. They don't teach you any of that, like how to build credit and do those things. So I have had that venture, like that click in my mind since I was little. Like, I'm going to be a strong, independent woman and I'm going to build. Like, so that was kind of before, that was early 2000s. That wasn't as hype as it is now.
Yeah.
Like all the girls that I grew up with, like, I'm going to get married and I'm going to do this, like all at a young age. And I'm like, I want to be a boss.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want to. So luckily I did have a dad, he's like, don't depend on a man. Like, I feel like my family never really understood me, but I've always been very supportive. Like, I believe you. You're going to do this. I believe it. Go get it. What do you need?
Right.
Like, so I do have that. But absolutely, I think it just takes one. And then as soon as, I'm already building and growing, and then, of course, my family is my first, I'm going to be like, look, this is what I did. I'm going to give them the will.
Can I share something, though?
Yeah.
That's good. That's going to suck.
Will it help me? Oh.
It's going to suck. Our family, our immediate family are the ones that most of the time, they don't want to hear it.
They don't. I'm already getting a little.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What do you...
Yeah. So what it is, I think it's and I went through it. Okay.
Yep.
And that's why I'm saying this. I feel that our family have known us our whole life, and so when we're ready to take on a different role, they're like,
no,
bro.
Yeah.
I already feel like that.
You're gonna tell me about.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me about freaking credit.
Yeah.
You're talking to me. I know you, little rascal. I know your credit is jacked up. Probably worse than mine.
Yeah.
Or you understand what I'm saying?
No, so exactly. I'm already getting.
And I feel like our family are the ones that in the beginning give us the biggest pushback, or they're the least supportive.
Less accept. I do have one. Yeah.
Like,
I'm going through it right now.
They're hating on you.
Yeah.
But
it's hard for them to accept the new you.
Yeah.
I think the word here is that they just don't believe in you. And that's okay, and I'll tell you why, because they don't know that version of you. But they have not seen you succeed there.
Yeah.
You understand? This is new to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so just later, for you it's happened already, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But just later, after they see your success, after you see your discipline, after they see that you are turning, or you turn into a different person, a different, newer version of yourself, that's when some of our family come around and they tap in the shoulder and say, hey, so that thing you've been doing, let me in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How can I get in the game? How can I do that?
Yeah.
You understand? But sometimes for me, it took a few years.
Yeah.
Like we had to kind of like break apart from our family, siblings, cousins, everyone for a good 3-4 years.
Before you could.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning it was just like freaking negative.
Yeah.
Negativity, and it's just like, man, what do you think, you're big and bad now? You guys don't come around. You guys don't even want to do freaking birthday parties. What's up with Christmas? Like I heard everything, and so my thing was just, you know what? We're just gonna separate ourselves from everyone. and because they're still gonna say, they're still gonna do, they're still gonna gossip. Let's just focus on us.
Yep.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens after a while? Then
they see the results,
and then some people will reach out to you. Not everyone though. And see, that's the thing that sucks. That's why I say it's gonna suck. That's the thing that sucks, because once you know so much, or once you know something different that could ultimately change your family's life too, you want to share it with everyone. You want everyone, your cousins, your siblings, your brothers.
Like,
you want
this
everyone
is what
to
I did.
do it.
I know. I've already had it in my mind.
It won't happen.
I know.
Yeah,
and that's
I know. I
part.
read
And I've experienced that with my family as well.
Like
and it sucks at first, but you kind of have to
be okay with
block them out, you know. And you know, with me personally, I've had to force a lot of my family members into thinking the way that I think. I've you know, opening doors for them, getting them surrounded by people like JJ. My whole family knows JJ, right?
Yeah.
They're, you know, they've been to dinners, you know, you ran
saw them
into
at
them
Home Depot.
At Home Depot. So I just don't hear it from me, right? Don't trust me, but hear it from someone who's more successful. I think that is the key to getting your family on board, because you really need that support, right?
Yeah.
From your family.
Yeah, yeah. But
And
it's gonna
I feel
be
like I'll always, you know, and I'll always have the support, but I've been already, like, my discipline, this has been like years of like my full transformation. So it's already been happening. The support is there, but I do feel that there is a family member that I don't feel that acceptance. Every time I go, they're trying to pull me back.
And that's okay.
Hey, remember all that dumb stuff you used to say?
That's okay.
And I would realize
It
when I would
happens.
leave every time, I'm like flustered, like,
It
what's
happens to
going
all of
on?
us. Yep.
And then I work through it, and I'm like, yeah, it's because they're always trying to pull me back. Hey, remember when you were done? Like, hey, but I'm not anymore. It's been years.
And so again, that's a part that sucks, but it's part of growth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
It's part of the going through. It's you know, those growing pains.
Yep.
And it's okay. So you'll be able to impact and help and inspire.
That's what I want to do. That's the rest of my why.
Others.
Inspire others.
Before you could do your own people.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
I've already kind of been feeling it.
I'm
It
telling you
is.
right now.
But that's also how
Yes.
you know you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Is when you get pushed
Because I'm
back.
already, I mean, I've tried to mention a couple of things, but they're just like, don't be preaching, you know? But here, you know, at the office, or girls, close friends of mine, they're going through, you know, something that I went through a couple of years ago, and I'm giving them all my resources. I'm giving them the questions. I'm almost, you know, mentor, but like, I don't, you know, I tell them I can't tell you how to do it, but like, here are the resources, here are the things that I used throughout my journey. But ultimately, that's like the rest of my why too. So like, build wealth for my family is a big one, but also to inspire and connect. And I feel like that's what I'm seeing is kind of like my source. Like that's really what I've always kind of done. And now that I'm more more aware of it, and really putting that into the right places, like to growth. And ultimately, I just want to help as many as I can. Probably more on the transformation thing.
Yeah. So I'll say
huge.
something that one of my early coaches taught me. Okay. You know, we will have this type of conversations. At least one of the 4 or 5 sessions a month, we will make it like this, very just conversational. So talk to me, JJ. Tell me what's going on. It'll be like out of the script kind of coaching session. And one of those sessions, she asked me, so what do you want to do, like years from now, 5 years from now, where do you want to be at, JJ? And I kind of said to her what I wanted to do, which is what I'm doing now, right? And I said, I want to help people, I want to inspire people, I want to motivate people. I see myself in stages and speaking, and he said, but ultimately, I just want to help people with what I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, good. She goes, I can tell you how you could do that and be very successful at it. And I said, good.
Yeah.
Do it to me, right? And she said, you start by helping you, by doing you. She said, because you'll never be able to help, inspire, or do anything for others unless you get your shit right.
Mm.
Yep.
Unless you help yourself first.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing
you
it.
understand?
Yeah. Well, and if you're living by it,
yeah,
you know?
and so
like,
and so I was like, you're right. Like, I can't tell someone to do something where I haven't done it.
yeah.
I can't tell someone to get it right when I ain't got it right.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep.
And so that was a very good advice that I got from my coach that I always just play back. You know, you want to help more people, get your shit right.
Yep. And I think of that too, like commitment, like to, like you can't, if you're not committed, like I used to be a little more flimsy a couple of years ago where it was like, oh, okay, just kind of going out whenever or whatever came up. But I stopped that years ago. Like, okay, no. Like on these nights I don't go out. Like I'll be open on these days.
Right.
Like, and I did. I call it a contract, but I started signing contracts to myself September of 2022, and it changed my life. Like I don't even drink anymore at this point, but at that point I took out like Fridays and Sundays.
Hell yeah.
And then because so I feel like, I mean, at that point, I still wanted to help people, but I was still kind of new in it. I wasn't fully consistent. Like now at this point, like I'm consistent, disciplined. So I think that's too, if you're going to help people, like you need to, like now I've been doing it for years. So it's like I have a little under my belt I could say I'm consistent.
Of course.
But like a couple years ago, I still had that urge inside of me. I feel like, I want to help people. It's like, well, wait a minute. You can't tell people to commit. Like, have you fully committed to yourself? And then that's when I really started like breaking it down. Like, okay, I should get some more structure. Like how am I going to get to my goals? And that's when I really, so I felt like I kind of did that a couple of years ago. I think I did it with myself, but kind of checked myself. Like, how are you going to help people? If you're all over the place.
And that happens, and that's pretty pretty normal.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're all over the place, honestly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to regroup, reground, and check yourself.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, right? Yeah.
Like now I do it all the time. A couple of years ago though, it felt weird. But now, I feel like it's good to check yourself.
I think a good way to kind of start that journey is to kind of audit your circle, right? Like they always say, like you're the average of the 5 people that you're around, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of distractions, friends, family. We love them to death, right? But sometimes you kind of have to check yourself, like Ice Cube says, and you kind of have to see, okay, this person, I love her, him. But I just have to limit my time with them, and I need to be around people that are focused on the goals that are aligned with myself and them. Mm-hmm. Right. So
and it doesn't mean that you have to like completely block out people from your life, like friends and family. It just means that
you just got to be aware.
Maybe you don't hang out with them.
And
so
intentional.
Not as much.
You have to be intentional.
Don't
and
cut them
I feel
off
like
completely, but
no. But just a distance.
Sometimes you just kind of have to. Some people are just not.
And we've all.
What I did, I started on it clicked for me that like audiobooks, how I learn, and I just went like ham.
I love audiobooks.
So then eventually, like a couple months in, I did like Jay Shetty to Lewis Hughes or all these, and I got to Grant Cardone, and it was his 10X Mentor, and I read it in like 22, I believe. And he had I ended up writing them out, and I have them printed out now. But he has, I think it was chapter 18. There's a bunch of questions. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it was pretty much what your coach 10X mentor.
Okay.
Not the rule. I think he put that one out first. The mentor was later one, but I believe it was chapter 18, and I lived by that. That's when I really changed everything. He gave a list of questions. Yeah. Where are you now? Mm-hmm. And you got to be honest with yourself, And even sometimes I'd write broke AF, where do you want to be? What are your vehicles? And that's when I really took that inventory. It's who are you hanging out with? Yeah. What are the big one? And I think the most important, really what changed my life was he started bringing assets and liabilities into a personal life, which I've never had. I've never had anybody describe it like that. Mm-hmm. I've never had that knowledge.
Yeah, they don't teach us that in school.
They don't teach you
No, they
that.
don't.
Like there are some people are liabilities.
Yeah.
And some people are assets, just like anything else. The things that you do, and once I grasped that concept, that was like, I think my true, and I did get that from Grant Cardone. That was like my true game changer, I think, when I started, because then I wrote down like, what are my assets and my liabilities?
Yeah. So one of the things that I'll share with everyone, in case you're in that place in your life, a good exercise to do is to grab a little piece of paper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on around the middle of the paper, just draw a line all the way down.
Okay.
And on the very top, just draw one line all the way across.
Yep.
And on the left side, you're going to put good.
Mm-hmm.
The right side, you're going to put the word bad.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going to start writing down names of good people.
Oh, all the people
that are good for your life.
Okay.
You know who they are.
Yeah.
yeah.
Very few, unfortunately. And then you're going to start writing down all the bad, people that instead of an asset, it's a liability.
Yep.
You understand? People that don't bring nothing but
just
they don't contribute good to your life.
Yeah.
We all have a bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you start writing it down and you keep it real to yourself, and you start writing down most of that sheet, that little piece of paper is going to have a lot of people on the bad side, unfortunately.
Yep.
And then it's only going to have a handful of people on the good side. Once you see those people's first name, you're going to be able to see and do a great inventory on how and how many of those people you need to kind of start letting go little by little, so that now you have more
and filling up on the other side.
On the good side, you understand?
Yep.
And so it's a great exercise to do.
And the habits.
If you kind of like need to like check your circle right now. Yeah. You understand? Because if you don't have a lot of people on the good side, then
it's gonna be harder.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times because we have so much people on the bad side.
Yeah.
In our circle that are clouding.
Or just that don't want to grow.
The good people to come
distractions.
You understand? And then now, maybe freaking Joe is freaking the one always calling you during the week. Hey, let's go hang out and do this. Which, I mean, it may not seem like it's a bad thing, but when you have goals.
Yep.
That could be a bad thing. That could be a huge distraction because, you hang out and you get drunk.
Yep.
You're going to have a hangover the next day. You're gonna.
It's a 3 day. I call it a 3 day cloud. Yeah, it ruins.
It's a setback.
It's just a setback.
It really isn't that complicated though.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, just audit the people around you, right? And
the things in your life that you're doing.
Like you guys,
an inventory. Yeah.
We know what we're supposed to be doing.
You know what's so crazy that people talk about having having the gray, the middle, and I don't think there's a gray. It's either black or white. You know what I mean? I don't like to give myself a gray. You know what I mean? Because the gray is like you're
like slipping in the middle.
You know what I mean? I just like to
like I'm
at
going
least for
here.
me, either it's this or that.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you don't like where you're at, get out of it.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you got to do in between. Just get out of it.
If you're not,
You understand? You don't like where you say, I don't know. Let's just say you don't like how much you're making a year. Good. Do
Change
something about it.
What are you gonna do?
You understand? Well, I'm not prospecting as much when I coach real estate agents. One of the first questions is like, all right, so how many deals do you want to close a year? How much do you want to earn? This much. Okay, good. How much are you currently earning?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, what are you willing to do to go from here to here?
Yeah.
You see? Because not that complicated.
No, but it's consistency.
So you're here, you want to be here. Okay, good. So what are you not doing enough that's stopping you from getting paid? Well, I don't know. Okay, good. Are you prospecting? No. Are you door knocking? No. Are you calling? No. Are you sending out marketing, flyers, posts on social media?
Like, how are we going to find
you? Come on, bro. You understand?
You have to.
And so it's very simple. I like simplicity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Make it simple.
So you don't like this? You want to get here? Good. All right. Let's switch it. That's simple.
Figure it
you
out.
understand? But again, that's just me. I don't
No,
like complicated stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not that smart. I just like simple stuff. You know, if I don't like there, I'm gonna do this to get here. Whatever.
Like me, I think I need to go through. I needed a little bit of a process, but that I've always been like a lot of energy. So it's like I would always easily get distracted.
Yeah.
So now I am very like structured, and I feel like not everyone needs to be that structured, but like it works for me. Yeah. It keeps me consistent, like, and taking those inventories, and I redo my contracts, and I've been doing it since 22. I redo them every 3 months. So I kind of look at it. I'll either sign the same thing if it still works, life changes. But like that has held me to it. So, I mean, I definitely, even if you're all over the place sometimes, like it really just take that inventory, take that audit. Yeah. It's going to change your life.
You know, I think what also helps too when you're all over.
Yep.
Learning to say no.
Oh, yeah. But that's what,
it
was easy for me to say no once I had a game plan. Like once I had it written down, then I had that with me where it was like, hey, Friday night, no. And it was just, but I needed that.
Once you had your priorities straight. Yep.
I needed that sign to myself. And that's just what I needed to not get flimsy. Like, nope, it's in marker. It's like in permanent ink. I don't go out on Fridays.
There you go.
Like, and there you go. And I needed that. But once I made that decision, like I'd already pre-made it. And once I signed it, like I went with it. And I put exceptions, like if it was on a holiday, I made the whole thing, like exceptions, holiday, vacation, like I had it all written out. And so like it gave me that little wiggle room. I didn't have to like go against myself, but ultimately, you know, everyone's different. Some people won't need that. Some people are like, it's normal to me, just no. Some people need a journal, you know.
And sometimes it just takes a bit longer for some than others, you know, and it's okay. As long as
it's all commitment.
I think as
once you commit to yourself, it's all from there.
That you need to do something different to improve and get better.
You got to be honest.
Something about it, you're good. But you have to start though.
Yeah, you got to start. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to take an inventory. You got to write it down, and you got to build the roadmap. Like I was just always floating around, and then you get caught up on other people's things, and that's where it's like you start to like, whoa, like how am I over here? Because I never really built that roadmap. I kind of knew like, oh, I want to be a strong, independent woman. Okay, well, how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? Are you going to help people? Like, are you going to grow? Are you going to like run a company? Like, do you want a business? So it was really about like honing in for me. Like once I got it on paper, now it's like, okay.
And writing stuff down works for you. But what works for me is I like to just tell people like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. I told them and now I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. So like a third party.
Word, yeah. You know, I have to do it. I can't,
like, you know, which is something
so more like accountability from
so I told my mom I'm going to do 1,000 push-ups the other day just because I wanted to and I have to do it. You know, that is an example. So that's just that works for me.
Accountability
that's pretty good.
Accountability is so good, and that's where having a coach kicks in.
Yes,
100%.
A coach, the main job of a coach is to help you be accountable.
Yeah,
that's truly one of the main goals of a great coach. Is to help you be accountable to your goals.
Yeah,
because your goals are different than mine. Your goals are different than hers. What do you want to do? 1,000 push-ups. Okay, good. How many are we going to do a day?
True story. Yeah.
How many going to do in a week?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 200 a day. Good. I'm going to help you be accountable. Yeah. How? Many ways. I'm going to have you record and send me that video. And if you don't send me that video by a certain time every day, then there's going to be a fee. I'm going to charge you $100 every day. You don't commit to it, and it's not going to be for me. We're going to donate it to a nonprofit.
I like that. Yeah.
You understand? So back in the day when I started doing sales, we had this great accountability with a certain amount of real estate agents, and we had different accountabilities. One of the accountabilities that I had, it was to close X amount of deals every month. So if say I didn't close 10 deals a month, then I had to pay $1,000.
Okay.
You understand?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so we had to write a check for $1,000.
Dang.
Here's my money. Now, at the end of the day, you get to take it back and keep it in your checking account, or guess what? They're gone because you're already paid up. You're the one that didn't kept your end of the deal.
Yeah.
You're the one that didn't stay accountable.
And then you're going to do everything you can to never give that away
there
again.
you go. And so the accountability behind it was like, okay, cool. All right. Hey, Bailey, so what's up, bro? How many deals for the month? Man, I just got 5 and I got 5 more to go. Okay, good. Well, bro, you got only 10 more days. All right, man. Well, I got 3 closing and I got 2 in the pipeline, so I think it's gonna happen. Good. Well, what are you gonna do? Well, I think I gotta do more open houses. I think I gotta prospect more.
Yeah.
What are the kids gonna be? But see, it was a group accountability worth $1,000.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we need to put some skin in the game.
100%.
And but we gotta rely on the accountability.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To be accountable, because sometimes you just don't want to do it.
Yep.
Don't feel like it.
My journey has mostly been self, but I'm starting to, like, I kind of built that self-discipline and all that, but I'm trying to get more on the, because it's great to do it by yourself, but I'm definitely wanting to expand, like, my relationships and my teams and accountability. Like, that's why I'm kind of bringing a lot of it to here now. Too.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that I've learned.
So watch. I believe that we have the ability to do it by ourselves.
Yes.
To do a lot of things by ourselves. However, I know this for a fact. It helps 1,000 times more.
That's what I'm
You're
learning.
1,000 times more effective when you bring someone else in to that accountability. See, watch. Say you wanted to do something. I don't know. Let's say you want to do X amount of podcasts in the next 3 months.
Okay.
And now you tell Bailey, hey, I'm going to commit to do X amount of podcasts in the next 3 months. However, if I don't, guess what? I'll pay you $1,000.
Yeah.
You understand? And so that right there, whether you like it or not, whether you think it's gonna work or not, it's in the next 3 months, $1,000 gonna be in the back of your head. Man, I really don't want to give up $1,000.
100%.
I really don't like. I mean, maybe $1,000 may not be a lot of money, but I really don't want to give it up.
No, yeah.
You understand?
100%.
Like, man, what can I do with $1,000? You understand? And so, accountability is so key
huge.
when you're really trying to like do something out of your comfort zone. More importantly, out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so you gotta have to buy in. Find great accountability partners that are going to help you stick to your goal and, most importantly, hit your goal.
That's awesome. That's what I'm starting.
1,000%.
That's what I'm looking for these days. Like now I feel like I'm in the point in my journey where I'm like, okay, more. I've gotten the consistency and the trust and the commitment all in myself. So now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, it's ready to get back out there. And I definitely am putting myself in, better environments and, so I think for a while I kind of pulled back a little bit and I had to go. Yeah. I'm going in, I'm committing. But I definitely see the value in, a team. Even our team here has, really changed me, and I'm super thankful for them. And in coaching programs, like I've learned how to build a business off YouTube and heal and just grow and develop and really transform. And, so I feel like if like putting this content out there and just like you can do it on your own, and as you can take your time, like if you don't want to do the accountability thing right away, like for me that would have been harder. Like now I could do it in a sense, but in the beginning it was like me versus me. Like I got nitty gritty on myself, but ultimately I think everyone's journey is going to be different. Right. And, it's up to everybody individually at first. Once you decide, then, you have to make that decision to start. And then ultimately from there. But until you do that, it's never really going to grow.
That's right. Yeah. And then what's crazy about this is that you may try to fool people.
Yep.
But you can't fool yourself.
Yeah.
You're only
You're only
yourself.
fooling yourself. And I think, that's why I think it's harder now that I am more aware. I'm definitely more self-aware. I'm aware of other people's things. Like if they say things, now I'm like, okay. Now the red flags are definitely more to the surface where I can like dissect it. Like, no, don't do that. But it definitely, I think a little harder for me too now to kind of go out, because I know that I'm putting myself out there, and then not always, I feel like people don't mean to do it, but they're naturally not putting themselves out there.
That's right. Yeah.
And like in so many words, sorry, I don't know how to explain it, but does that kind of make sense?
Oh, yeah.
It's like they don't mean to. I don't think like a lot of people are bad. It's just they don't show you kind of who they are right away. Yeah. And I feel like I kind of do. Like, hey, boom, 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 like this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's because your personality.
Yeah.
We're all different here.
Yeah.
You're a D. You're a driver.
I'm a driver. Oh, I'm also good on my driver.
There you go.
So maybe, I cannot golf, but I will crush a driver, like all day.
Yeah.
Like those, sure. I don't know what it is about that thing, but yeah, I could do that. I could see me as a driver. What would be another one?
Well, there's 4 personality types.
Oh, 4. Okay, tell me.
So watch. A driver is someone very strong, very independent,
Yeah.
someone that just knows their goals and they just don't. They're not afraid to go after what they want.
Yeah.
They're just like, get the F out of my way because I'm going to get it.
I was my biggest thing in my way.
There you go.
That's the thing, yeah.
So you're a driver. You're a D. Driver, you're a red. There's different personality people, how they look at personality types. But you're definitely a driver.
Okay.
Then you have your amiables personality, people that are very soft-spoken,
okay,
very gentle. When they shake your hand, they're just like very...
kind of made more like jazz.
Like very soft.
Yeah.
They kind of hug you. They kind of put their second...
Fragile,
they're that's an amiable personality.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never do or say anything to hurt you. Right?
Yeah.
They're just very sweet, gentle. I always kind of like picture as a picture an old lady, like a grandma. You know what I mean?
They're mean.
So, no, well, the nice ones, right? The nice ones.
Come on,
right?
some
like,
old ladies.
They're like, not the caring old ladies. You know what I mean? Not those. Like the ones you like, they're very sweet and they're like, want to bake you a cookie, that kind of stuff, right?
I
did have a nice.
Yeah, they're very nice, right?
Yeah.
That's an amiable personality. And then you have your analytical personalities, people that are always analyzing, thinking things over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They think and put things in order 1,000 times, before they say yes to something, before they commit, before they start something. They overanalyze things. They're number driven. They're statistics driven. They're always just right. That's an analytical.
Yeah.
And then you have your expressive, that you express and driver are right next to each other.
Would that be Bailey? Expressive?
Bailey's not
a driver.
No, he's more of a driver
side.
I'm a driver.
You're a driver, expressive under pressure.
Okay.
And you're
I'm so jittery.
Your jacket gave it up. Most expressive people, most of them, they're very expressive of the way they dress too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Bright colors.
Yeah.
Right. I bet you have.
I did yellow yesterday at the event.
A lot of colorful stuff, right? They're
I like to
pretty.
pop.
They're pretty outgoing. They're just like very loud, right?
Yeah. That's all it means.
You're expressive, then.
Yeah. And so you have.
I'm just crushing it. Expressive and driver,
and so,
everybody get out of the way.
Yeah. and when you go to a room, you like to be the center of attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's all you. And so you have 4 personality types, and I just mentioned all 4.
I'm like all 4 of them.
But no, watch. You're a driver / expressive, okay? But a good salesperson, because we're all in sales, loans, real estate. A great salesperson is someone that can be all 4.
Yeah.
When needed to.
Okay.
You understand?
Yep.
So in other words, so if I know you're expressive, I want to sell you.
Yep.
Guess what I need to
You're
become?
gonna mirror. Yep.
Very expressive.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I'm
can
an
be like-
adapter.
So they can be
Like
like,
a
oh my
chameleon.
God, he's one of my kind.
Yes.
Come on, JJ, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Sign. Yeah. This is, you
That's
understand?
big on sales. Yep. You got to mirror.
Yeah.
I'm very adaptive.
Right.
with
So
the mirrors.
and so you have to have all and know and be able to identify all those four personalities, so you can now pitch and connect with a personality
everybody.
For the sell. We're on sales, so you have to learn and know those personalities. A lot of times you can spot a expressive personality from just a mile away because
Yep.
the bright jacket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to know who you are. I just know you're an expressive. Look at what
Yeah.
you're wearing. You understand?
And then a question for you, JJ. For someone who's like an introvert, right, but they want to be, be able to adapt and, connect with people, what would you recommend they do in order to build that connection, whether it's a sale or their girlfriend or whoever it is, what would you say for someone who...
I would say, again, it's something I've taught for years. Know your personality types.
Okay.
So learn them. I teach people, because I was a big phone prospector back in my sales days.
Okay.
I teach people to learn personality types just by hearing the other individual over the phone.
Okay.
Because you could spot someone from a mile away like you.
Oh,
like
and
if
my
you're coming
voice,
all the way, like say down the hall, and you're wearing that jacket. I know you're expressive.
Yeah.
I just
Like
know.
this girl is gonna have
You
energy.
understand?
Yeah.
That's one of the ways to know your personality, visual. Another way is body language. It's another way to know personality types. And the
If I'm
third.
walking.
The third is by their voice, their
Their
tonality,
Their
Yeah.
tone.
their
And
tonality.
just direct. Like analytical, they're gonna be very direct.
Well, analytical, they're going to be very analytical.
Yeah.
A driver is going to be very straight to the effing point,
Okay.
bro.
Don't.
How much is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand?
Just tell me. I've already sold myself.
Like watch. I'm true
I'm
story.
my worst customer.
True
I
story.
already sold myself.
One of my buildings, you know this, one of our buildings caught on fire out there in Cleveland, and fortunately, no one got hurt. But now we're going through the whole insurance thing.
North
right?
Collinwood one?
Yep.
Okay.
And so, just a few days ago, before I flew out here, I met an estimate, someone from a restoration company. I'm getting different quotes to see, how much the renovation is going to cost per the insurance, right? And so I thought I was going to meet a estimator.
Okay.
An estimator, when you have a loss, an insurance loss, an estimator is someone that goes out there and they estimate the losses, or they're going to give you an estimate.
Yeah.
That's their job. They're called estimators. And so when I spoke to someone from the company, they said, well, you're going to meet Joe on a certain day. Okay, good. Well, I get there and I open the door. How you doing, man? Good. Well, showed him around, first unit, top unit, blah, 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 blah. And he's looking around. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to, when is another good day to come back and with Mike? And so we come back and, he's going to be doing this and that. And I said, wait a minute. So why are you here? Well, I'm a salesperson. I'm here to evaluate. And bro, me being a driver, I said, listen, stop. I don't need you to sell me on what needs to get done.
Yeah.
I call to get an estimate.
Like, tell me when these.
I don't need no one to sell me on the fact that this needs to be redone.
Like how much?
Yeah.
Do you understand? I need an estimator. See, I'm a driver. I go straight to the point.
Straight to the point. Yeah.
I ain't got time to waste. But some of this analytical would have said different.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Like break it down.
So when is Mike gonna show up? And is he gonna bring different price points? Is he going to show me the square footage? How much that's going to
Yeah.
cost? I mean, he's going to literally be very analytical. You understand? So I would say to your
definitely
question,
more of a driver.
to your question, of course you are.
Yeah.
To your question is it's if you want to become better in sales, learn all 4 personality types so you can now become that personality, whether it's on the phone or in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And doesn't mean that you have to be a driver. It just means that you have to become a
You just have to
driver
mirror.
when a driver's in front of you.
Okay.
Yep.
You understand?
Just mirror.
Because you could be a Jasmine, amiable personality. But if Jasmine wants to do more sales, she needs to learn how to become a driver, how to become analytical.
All 4.
And
Okay.
all 4.
So in order to be successful, you need to
higher
be-
to be a more successful person. You
need to be
understand?
able to adapt.
Because
okay.
if,
Or because like usually in sales they'll kind of like a mirror.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you can, there's some people like me. I'm more on energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do adapt and I mirror people really well. Like I served for years. So, but people were like, what? I would pop to each table. I'm like making friends. I'm like, I could instantly walk up to a table and adapt
Yeah.
to their vibe, their thing. I can have 2 totally different things and 2 like completely different personalities. But that's when it kind of clicked with me, like, okay, and when you bring it into sales, but if you can mirror their vibe and now you're a homie.
Yeah. And so again, listen, there's great salespeople that are good in sales, but they only sell to their personality type.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand?
So you could succeed.
But if you want to be more successful and sell more, learn all 4 personality types so you can identify
Yeah.
right away with a simple hello. Watch. There's a difference in tonality when you call someone and they say hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Two different personality types.
That second guy, I don't want to hang up on
So
him.
if you get the hello, who is this? Oh shit, it's a driver. You gotta put on take your amiable hat off and put your driver hat on. Yeah, I'm looking for Joe. Hey Joe. Yeah. Listen, very fast. Hey, the reason I was calling is because we got a good sale going here, and I just thought you would like to take advantage of the sale. Are you looking to buy?
Yeah.
Like very straight to the point.
Yeah.
Like
No conversation.
Like you understand?
Yeah.
But doesn't mean you have to be a driver, but you have to become that driver to make the sale, or else Joe will freaking eat you alive. What the fuck are you? Why you call my phone? You understand?
Yeah.
But when you
sound like
connect
that,
with
it's
Joe,
so good.
then Joe's gonna like you. As a matter of fact, I'll say this for all the drivers out there, for any other personality. Us drivers, we like to know that someone's gonna be able to be right there with us, if not, kind of take over.
Yeah.
Or like lead.
That's
you
a
understand?
good. Yeah.
Like
That's exactly.
like that, and I say this because all 3 other personalities. From the driver, all 3 other personalities have a hard time selling to driver personalities.
Yeah.
Because we're the hardest ones. We're like, we just don't care.
Yeah.
We just don't give a F.
Yeah.
We're just like, hey, bro, come on. You're going to sell? Well, come on.
Like
Straight to the point, I got shit to do. You understand?
Yeah.
But and so if you can learn how to connect and adapt and become that driver, oh my God.
I know.
My God.
That's when you're like just top producer.
You understand? You're like, cool.
Yep.
And then you're like, hang up and like, oh, okay, man, we just made another sale. You're not, that's not who you are, but you had to become that person to make that sell.
That's amazing. Well, JJ Jara, everyone, Bailey Coleman, thank you guys so much for coming out today.
You're very welcome.